Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sandwich Commission on Disability meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order. This meeting will be recorded and provided to the Sandwich Community TV for future viewing. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Today is December 3rd, 2025 at 5 p.m. This meeting is being held remotely in accordance with state laws and regulations, most recently Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2025 and Section 20 of Chapter 20 of the Acts 2021. This meeting will be available on demand on the Sandwich Community TV website. And we'll begin this evening with a roll call. Meg Keegan.
Here.
Tom Jellison.
Here.
Joanne Lebers.
She just came on.
Joanne, are you there?
I am here.
All right, great. Lisa Judelson. Don't see her. I don't hear her. Joseph Sonia, that's myself. I'm present. Julia Wright. Don't see her. I don't hear her. Shauna DeSanti.
She said she'd be late.
Billy Trapasso.
Here.
Dean Cullen.
Here.
Stephanie Houghton.
Here.
Did I get that right?
Laytonin.
Conan, thank you. Don Royer. I don't see him. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have a quorum.
Right.
And next item on the agenda.
Don.
Would be the
Oh,
Don
wait.
came.
And we got to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Dom, do you have your flag?
Sure does.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic with liberty and justice for all. Did I do it right? No, I feel. Did I get it? One
Sorry.
nation. I'm like messing it up.
It's all right. I know it's okay. I mess it up too. I get really nervous sometimes. We should all let's all do it together.
Yes, let's try that again. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic
for which it stands,
one
one
nation
under
God,
God,
indivisible, with
with liberty
and
and
justice
for all.
for all.
Thank
Been
you,
a long
everybody.
time since school where I had to say
And
it
I'm
every
overthinking
day, right?
it. Yeah. Thank you.
And Cal, I did notice that Don Royer has joined. Don, can you hear us?
Oh, great. Hi,
Yes,
Don.
I can. Thanks. Sorry I'm late.
Yeah,
All right.
and I think, Joe, right, the first agenda item is town updates.
Correct. That is the first agenda item.
So do we want to start with Chief Burke?
Sure, I can kick us off if everybody's good with that. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me. Just a couple quick things on emergency management. Mass notification system that we've been working on since September. We did the full transition over. There's a small group of you that are part of our test group. We've done a couple of tests. We're going to do one more. We're kind of tweaking a few things. The next test will be the week of December 14th. I'll email everybody ahead of time. But we are going live with that, and we're happy with kind of the overall transition. It's a lot to transition 7,000 people onto a system, so that's why it's taken us a little bit. But the week of the 14th, we're going to do a drill. We're also going to send out through social media and the town website a link for others to sign up. We'll explain the criteria, what the expectations are. So we're going to take care of that week. Two quick things on winter safety. The town's website, emergency management, is a little bit more robust. So we're going to be getting more updates on weather out there quicker. Any winter storm warnings, et cetera, will get up on the town website and social media. So we're ahead of the curve compared to last year. So I'm happy with that. That's also one of our hazard mitigation plan target items for the year. And just a reminder, we do maintain a priority list of high priority residents in town that's maintained by the CAL staff, Susan and her staff there. And people on that list, when we have a storm, we kind of cross-reference that and see mobility impairment issues, if they're living alone, if they're requiring sustainable medical equipment, power, etc. We review that list a couple times a year. We have reviewed it again for this year. I asked this group, if you know somebody that is not on that list that would like to be on the list, I ask that you advocate for them. They can contact me directly. They can go through you. You can give me the information. We just need the basics. We just need name, address, and what we're going to have in the listing. If it's a mobility issue, if it's living alone, if it's anything, we will get it on the list. And then what happens is when big storms are coming, Susan's staff will reach out to those priority members on the list. And in full disclosure, it's about 100, 105 residents that we have on there. So I would like this group to be the advocates for that. If you know people, please let me or Ann know. We'll get it to Susan and we'll make sure it is on the list. Final thing I have on January the 23rd, we're doing a lunch and learn. We do these quarterly at the CAL at 11 a.m. It's going to be a public health panel. I'm going to lead it, and we're going to have the VNA, health agent, various health entities in town. We're going to talk about public health issues and services that are available. We are going to try to get it on Sandwich Community TV also for those that can't attend. We feel it's fairly important that people understand what services are available. So that is going to be January 23rd, and I will make sure I push that out at the next COD meeting, because it'll be before that, to get interest out there. And again, we do about an hour, and then we actually serve lunch, and it's a lot of fun. So about 11 to 1, January 23rd, and I will push that out. So those are the quick OEM emergency management updates. If Paul is good, Paul Tilton, I do see him here. If we're good, we can transition right into on the winter weather safety side, the DPW snowplow stuff. So
Perfect.
Paul,
That'd be great. If unless anyone has any questions for Chief Burke, otherwise, yeah, that would be great.
Okay, I'll jump right in. Again, Paul Tilton, DPW Director. And this is a sort of a timely presentation, seeing that we're entering the winter season. And just kind of want to go over some of our policies, procedures related to our winter maintenance. I will start off saying it's one of the more challenging jobs that we have as a DPW, mainly because the unpredictability of storms, especially the storms we have on Cape Cod. We also are limited in staff and resources that we have to attack these storms. As an example, we used to have about 25 contractors on board each year to help us out with the subdivisions. Unfortunately, we only have about 5 every year now. The reasons for that is the insurance costs are through the roof for them. So some of them are just getting out of the business. It can be expensive for them to pay for insurance. It's also damaging to their vehicles, and it's a difficult job. So a lot of the contractors are just opting out, and some of them are choosing private companies instead, because they pay a little bit more. And it's not quite the same all-night affair that they have working for us. So we're up against it, but just want to talk a little bit about our policies. We do have a policy on our website. It's a thorough document and explains procedures during a snow event. And some of the priorities that we focus on, I'll go over briefly here. Obviously, we focus on the high volume collectors and arterial roads first. We really want to provide safe access for emergency vehicles and the majority of people using those roads. We also focus on school bus routes and steep hills. We want to make sure if school is open that we do have safe access for those school buses. And last in that line of roads is the subdivision roads. We usually will plow the main subdivision roads and then get to the side subdivision roads after that. At the end of the storm is when we attack the sidewalks. For the sidewalks, we push the snow into the grassy areas. So it doesn't really make sense to plow the sidewalks during the storm. We want to wait till the roads are done, because if we plow the sidewalks, the roads plows would put the snow back on the sidewalk again, so we'd have to move it off the road. So we wait to the end of the storm to perform the sidewalk maintenance, and we generally hire contractors for that. They're hard to come by as well, but we do assist with that effort. At this point, we have to offer signing bonuses for all our contractors just to get them interested in plowing for us. We're up to $1,500 a year, basically just for signing on. If they don't plow once, they still get $1,500. And even with that, we're only getting 5 contractors versus that 25 we used to get. We have an annual winter staff meeting every year, and we're having it in the next couple of weeks. And each and every year, we'll train our new staff. We'll discuss areas of concern. We address new techniques and new technology as part of winter maintenance. One area of focus for this year is ADA facilities. Obviously, we want to address some of your concerns, but we also have a lot of new facilities out there: sidewalks, shared use paths, intersections, audible pedestrian signals, and we want to make sure that the ADA ramps and facilities that we have, the new ones out there, are properly maintained. So that'll be an emphasis of discussion this year. As far as some bylaws and ordinances are concerned, I think a lot of cities do have ordinances. We don't have one in place that regulates who's responsible for taking care of the sidewalks. Some cities require the residents or the businesses to maintain the property in front of their homes and businesses. We don't do that. It's in my mind, it's sort of a city ordinance that would cover something like that. The things that you can require are no snow in front of your property on sidewalks. You can't disrupt the flow of stormwater that would back up in ice streets and sidewalks. And you can actually there are certain ways you can require businesses to do that. You either have an ordinance. We can even plow and then assess them a fee after that. In my mind, it doesn't make sense to do that for a town like Sandwich. We have a lot of long frontages. It would be difficult for people to plow their sidewalks or shovel their sidewalks. We have an elderly population as well, and it would be difficult for them to follow through on that regulation. And even if we had a regulation, the violation for that, we can only charge them $10. So very difficult to enforce. So it just kind of gives you a little bit of background.
Paul, I have a quick question. So right now, the town is responsible for the sidewalks, not the residents?
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
that is on us to maintain the sidewalks. But I just want to give you a little background between where I grew up and, it was more of a city-like area. The residents were expected to shovel and the business were expected to shovel, but that mainly for cities. Also, what we plan on doing is having a little social media effort. We do it every year. We disseminate information to the public about upcoming storms. We want to get a little more detailed this year, similar to our public information campaign about safety to slow speeds. I don't know if any of you saw that, but we had a month-long effort where we were putting out alerts twice a week to address people speeding and try to address the issues related to crashes on our roads. We want to have that same type of notification for snow and ice. We'll send out public alerts. We can give storm updates. As Chief mentioned, we can talk about shelter availability if shelters are open. And you can even send out alerts about how the public can help us in our effort to keep the roads and the sidewalks clean. For instance, like we can make sure people are not shoveling snow on the sidewalks. We can make sure they're not shoveling snow off their cars on the sidewalks. We can influence them not to plow their driveways and put it out on the street. Always a problem for us. We have information about how to properly shovel and plow driveways so you don't have that big bank at the edge of your driveway that's difficult to get out. And we can request businesses to help out during storms. If we can't get to the sidewalks after the storm, maybe they can help out. Just to point out, the businesses are responsible for any ADA facilities that they own. So that's on them to maintain those areas. As far as like assistance and request, and if there's any issues out there and you need to notify us, I think the COD is a really good portal for us to relay information to us. So if you're hearing some issues about certain intersections, maybe we missed a ramp or something, let us know. We can go out there and take care of that. And just sort of on a flat.
What's the best way to get that information to you if we see that?
I think the best way to do that is through 311. So you can alert us on our website. You can send us information. You can even locate it on a map, send it directly to us, and it gets queued in on a work order list. So it's right there in front of us. And if it doesn't get addressed right away, it escalates to a higher level to make sure we get that done. We can get you information on that, but all that information on alerts and work orders is right on our website. I think it's a very good resource for the public to use. And just kind of on a, go
Sorry,
ahead.
is everyone here able to access that?
Yeah.
I was asking the members to see if they were
Oh, I'm
able to.
sorry.
No worries, no problem. Just in case someone couldn't, then we could help them with that.
I've never tried, so I have no idea.
Hi, this is Lisa, and I believe I needed to have someone assist me to do it. I don't think I could do it completely on my own.
I don't know if you can pull up the town website.
That's okay. It's good to just know. It's no fault of anybody. Just I like to ask if the resources that are provided are accessible, because if I can access them, I don't necessarily know that someone else can. So it's
Yeah.
it's not like a problem. It's just something of great feedback that we can use, you know?
Yeah, Paul, it's me, Lisa, and Janine tend to use voiceover. So sometimes it's just tricky or a learning curve too.
Yeah, we could, provide assistance in that regard. But on the front page of the town website is information about not only alerts, but also notifying a DPW if you have any incidents or work order requests. As far as coordination during storms is concerned, all our departments, we really we get together during major storms and we get assistance from all the other departments. They all have plows in their trucks. Facilities takes care of the sidewalks, town buildings. The school will help us and we help them out as well. We work closely with the fire department. If there's any incident where they need assistance to respond to emergency, we'll go out with them and plow as needed. So there's real good cooperation amongst the town officials and departments to address some of these major storms. So just sort of an overview of what we do. Happy to try to answer any questions you might have.
Paul, I have a question, and this is like kind of more related. In my neighborhood, they like to put out like plow sticks. Is that really helpful to you guys? I'm blind and I use a white cane, so I find them to be a problem because people have them flopping all around,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I was just curious what your thoughts are on those plow sticks.
Yeah, the reason that we recommend folks using those is it gives a delineation of the edge of the road and the grass. So if you don't have those, sometimes the plows will go a little bit too far on the right and rip up the lawn. So we suggest that folks put those out just to better guide us as we're traveling down the road. It's very difficult, especially on curves, to determine where the edge of that road is.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, maybe we could try to get some messaging out about maintaining them, because I've noticed in my neighborhood, then they're flopping over and everything. And
Yeah, they have to be pretty far into the ground and sturdy. But it certainly helps guide us as we're plowing.
okay.
Paul, I have a question.
Sure.
Joanne Lepers. So you mentioned obviously we have a large senior population, more so than ever. So I have an 85-year-old senior living with me, and if I wasn't here, he is not tech savvy at all. He would be totally unable to clean out the mailbox, driveway in front of my house, etc. I have great neighbors that would help out, but I'm sure there's plenty of seniors that live alone and that are not tech savvy. How do they get help? They don't know. So how do you reach out to, besides if they were, elder services, the senior center, et cetera, to provide them, DPW supports in a storm?
Yeah, so as far as the DPW service, if anything on the street has not been plowed, they can notify us. And if they don't have the technical expertise to sign up or send information to us, they can certainly call us because we're still answering phones during storms. We're here around the clock answering phones. So if something's not plowed, you can let us know. Related to issues on private property, so if they need assistance in that regard, I know the chief has a community assistance list. I don't know how far that goes in terms of maintaining like walkways and driveways. I know some towns do have a program where the high school students, as part of their community service, will plow for the elderly or people in need. So I don't know if that's something the COD can look at and work with the schools to provide that service to folks that need it.
Yeah. So I'm assuming, not to interrupt Chief Burke, but I'm assuming the first, elder people, they'd call the police and they'd call the fire. I mean, that's their go-to. But, you certainly don't want, and again, I know that, private, certainly not doing their driveway, but they shouldn't be out, shoveling in front of their mailbox, et cetera, or trying to get out of their house because they don't know around the corner is fully iced and not even plowed. So I guess it's just that communication piece of, how do you get it out to them if they're, they don't have the app on the phone? I have someone here that uses a flip phone. That's it. That's all he's going to use. And, he would not know how to, maybe he'd call the police. Like, what do I do? So I guess it's sending out the appropriate information to senior citizens in town of, where to go instead of doing the, calling the police who are going to be very busy, calling the fire department who are going to be very busy during a storm. So I just think somehow in order to connect with that senior population, which again is very large now in Sandwich, to ensure their safety. So Chief Burke is not on quite a million EMS calls to the hospital because of a broken arm or leg, et cetera. So,
Joanne, I can add a little to that. So the list I was referencing earlier, that target list, what happens is when we know a storm is coming, even a minor to moderate storm, Susan's staff, 48, 72 hours out, is reaching out to these folks before the first flakes even fall to say, there's a storm coming. You should be prepared. If there is an issue or you run across an issue, yes, call police. We usually have them call us, but police or fire. Because one of the questions we get is, I slip and fall in my house. There's 8 inches of snow. My driveway's not plowed. How are you going to get to me? And Paul mentioned this. We have a dedicated fire truck with a plow that goes on every call. So we tell people, don't panic. We will make a pass up your driveway. We'll get the ambulance in. We will shovel your walkway and we will get in there. But re-emphasizing this priority target list, it sounds like your dad would be a good candidate because you're not there 24/7, right? So we just want to know the people that have potentially that we're going to have to check on, and they go, now that everything's computerized, it's on our CAD system. So we can pull up on a map in seconds the target locations and we can see kind of what's going on. But I think the key is the Cal staff reaching out ahead of storms almost every day leading up to it, saying, and if you need something, because they will tell you, I am not tech savvy. If you need something, call this phone number, call dispatch. They put it on a list. It comes to me and then we start sifting through it, if that makes sense.
Okay. No, absolutely. Yes.
Just if I can add to that, what the chief was saying there, we did discuss that the notification or the emergency list that is self-reporting. So COD or in the community, they know people that may want to put their names to that list. If they need any assistance from, I believe it's at SCAL. Is that correct, Chief? But they can reach out to the me as a ADA coordinator, and they need accommodation, or if they need to get their names on it, we can definitely accommodate that. So that's something that. But I just want to reiterate, it is self-reporting. We don't have. So maybe that's a message that the COD can get across to people, that it would be very helpful if they could get on that list, and the SCAL and the fire department are aware of it. As regards emergencies, in emergency situations, usually we're on call 24/7 as building commissioner. I'm on call 24/7. If you can't get, don't want to, if there's an emergency situation, you can definitely reach out to us as well in situations like that. So that's another avenue if need be. So just to add that.
Yeah, another indicator of, I think a lot of people always ask, is it safe to go out? The road's safe. Some people don't know. A couple indices you can use are the town offices closed? Are the schools closed? That's a sort of an indication that we probably shouldn't be on the roads. But if they're open, that generally means we were able to address and maintain the roads. One thing we can probably do a better job at, admittedly, we don't get enough information out there about the condition of the roads. We are getting a public relations person on board for the town. I'm hoping that we can disseminate some of the information through them to the public. So that might be helpful as well.
Great, thanks. Paul, do you have any more? Or does anyone have any questions for Paul? Okay, well, thank you guys so much for coming. Is Joe, that's it on the agenda for Paul and Chief Burke?
I believe so, yes. We do have an item for MOD plowing guidance. I think I think Paul's covered well from the Sandwich perspective. I wasn't sure if anyone had anything to add to that. I think we're good. And I think you guys covered the other accessibility issues and solutions quite nicely. Thank you for your time, both of you.
Yeah, that was very informative.
Thank you.
There's one other thing that falls under here is I'm gonna be meeting with Representative Exaros and the police chief to work on accessible parking violations. So there'll be a meeting coming up in the next month or so for us to discuss that. So that's a solution that's coming forward as well.
Just
Oh,
to add, if I can, sorry, just I know we have a plan to meet coming January, I believe. Myself, Leanne Drake, and a couple of members of the Commission on Disability. Some of the things that were highlighted tonight were very helpful. The 311, I'll look into that and see if how accessible that is and things like that. But part of that strategic plan, if we can work on some of these things, it'll be good and provide it. One other thing that I wanted to bring just as updates, I know we were working on some of the updates with websites and stuff. So if the Commission decide that they want to invite us back next month as a ADA coordinator, I can maybe have IT come and talk about that or in a further meeting. So I just wanted to make that clear as well. So
That'd be great. And then Ian, before you go, would you mind just providing, I thought you could explain it better about what happened with the variance appeal?
yeah, so we went to the variance appeal. There was a discussion about the whether the lift, they would give them a variance with a time lapse. I was trying to focus in on the cost. That was the area that they were making the decision on. And I don't know if the board really got what I was trying to say. I think some of them did, some of them didn't. The way that it was presented was a percentage that didn't make sense with market values as the cost, and that's what the board usually take into consideration. I haven't heard anything back since. They were supposed to debate on Monday afternoon, I believe, Meg, at 3:00, was it? They said after 3. I've checked the website.
Ian, we did. I ended up listening, and they did debate and they decided to stick with the original decision. So
yeah. So I haven't had any follow up from the Architectural Access Board. I've checked in a couple of times. So when they submit the decision, that'll be their decision. But that's where I it's a private entity, the school, so it was more of a building commissioner position that I was involved in it, and they went through the process which is established for them to do so. So that's how they got their variance.
yeah, thank you for explaining that.
No
I have,
problem. Thank you.
I have a question, Ian. When you go, so if, how do you decide when, or is it just situation dependent when you're involved as a building commissioner or as the ADA coordinator, or is it both?
ADA coordinator I'm with municipality projects. That's Title II is with municipality projects and have them all accessibility related to the municipality. Private entities, I don't have much say outside of 521 CMR, which is the building commissioner. What we usually do, we have a policy. If there's an issue with a business in town, I would definitely call out and say, there's no accessibility here, or we'd have a conversation, and that's usually we try to approach it that way. But when it comes to a private entity going for a variance, that's all through the building code and the 521 CMR and the variance requirements, and they can do that as a private entity, which this particular incidents they did.
And then what about Title III? That covered.
Yeah, that would be, you could, again, the ADA coordinator is very limited in that. The complaints, I believe, go directly to the Justice Department, I believe. So don't quote me on that, but that's but as regards this particular situation, that was what we were dealing with, private entity.
Thank you. Is there anything more, Joe, on the agenda for Paul, Ian, or Chief Burke?
I don't see anything for them. We just have the Commission on Disability Alliance, Consortium, Equity Leaders, and Apple Verizon Accessibility Day. So I think for the town, that is it. Thank you all for your time.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good holiday, everybody. See you next month.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Bye.
Okay, Joe. So next on the list is the.
Yep. Next up, we have Commissions on Disability Alliance, CODA, Disability Policy Consortium, DPC.
Okay, great.
I can talk about that. I went to the Commission on Disability Alliance meeting today. The Commission of Disabilities across Massachusetts meet, and that meeting is under the Disability Policy Consortium. It was a really great networking place. A lot of good topics were brought up. And one of the things that they're looking to write a support letter on that has come up here is the voting machines. It seems like every single person at that meeting had an issue with the, what is it called? One mark?
The auto mark.
Yeah, the auto mark. Yep. So there's a big issue around that. They're going to be writing a letter of support. Anyone here from the Commission on Disability can come to that meeting. It was really awesome to hear other commissions, the issues they're having, how they're working through it. We talked about the other topics that came up were, ADA coordinators, all sorts of different things. There's an ADA coordinator that's been an ADA coordinator for a really long time. She was really useful at answering a lot of questions and clarifying things. I'm trying to think of what else we talked about, but that is, I would definitely invite anyone from here to go to that. It's once a month, so it's the same day that we meet at noon. So it is during the day, but it was a great way to network and have different perspectives on different things. It was very resourceful.
And
Thanks for sharing that. Oh, go ahead, Lisa.
That's okay. I just had a question whether the letter of support it's for having the automark machines repaired or replaced, or statewide? Yes. Yeah.
And so we could write a letter of support from the commission as well, supporting the same thing. I want to see what they do first, and I can bring that down, or people want to come to the next meeting and see what that's about. And then we can bring that issue here. One of the things they did talk about was the role of the Commission on Disabilities in writing letters of support for things like that are statewide. They did actually talk about how sometimes the ADA coordinator because the building commissioner is someone that can enforce, the ADA coordinator is not, they advise. But there's some places where the Commission on Disability is a better advocate. And so I was interested in hearing about what those places were, but this is one of those things. They actually did talk about private businesses and plowing. Plowing was one of the issues that they had talked about. A lot of commissions on disabilities are meeting with their DPWs this time of year. And I'm losing my train of thought, but I forget what I was gonna say.
The
But
advocacy stuff.
yeah,
the-
so yeah, there's a lot of ways. Oh, private businesses. So they were talking about the Commission on Disability can write letters to private businesses if there's something that's not accessible, because the ADA coordinator, like Ian was kind of saying, it's a little bit wonky it's a little bit different when it comes to the Title III, which is private businesses. That being said, that may sound a little more harsh than what they were talking about. One of the things that I brought up was working, because I own a small business, is working with the chambers. Because a lot of times it's more around education and people not knowing than people wanting to do something wrong, or being so that was one of the things that they were talking about, was being able to work with the local chambers of commerce to educate the businesses on things if there were particular issues in our town.
Can I ask a specific question about the AutoMark machines? Is there any, I know they want to write a letter of support to replace them, but has anybody talked to anybody in the state about it? Because when I called,
Oh my gosh, Lisa, all of them.
okay, because the Office of the
Huge
Comptroller, I forget, yeah, and they said, well, they had to vet the vendors. It was like a lot of basically saying, we can't help you, and there's no federal funding for it, and so there's like no money, and the towns are gonna have to pay.
I would suggest that you put on your calendar to come next month to the meeting, because they can answer more, and I'm happy to connect you with those people. But it was like everybody was nodding their head vigorously when it came to the problem with the AutoMark machines.
Yes, I mean, even Taylor wants to, like everyone says they're a problem.
Right. And so I do, and I mean, that's, one of the things that I'm going to do is reach out to the other commissions on the Cape to ask them to come to that meeting, because I'm sure they're all having the same issue. And
Right.
so, there is, there are avenues for commissions on disabilities to advocate for things. And this seems to be a big one everywhere. So it's something we can definitely get involved in.
That'd be
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, there's so many, like, you go there, you introduce, you say what your town is doing, and then you have super knowledgeable people who are really good at explaining things about ADA issues. And we talked a lot about, there's certain things that are covered under the Architectural Access Board that the building commissioner, has the ability to do. But there are some things that fall outside of that would have that they're thinking about and making ways for people in Massachusetts to not have to, open a federal investigation in order to get the issue taken care of. And the avenues right now are not, for the things that fall outside of the AAB are much harder to get taken care of. That being said, the Architectural Access Board, they are trying to align all of their guidance with the ADA. So if something is in violation of the ADA, then it's also in violation in Massachusetts. One of the things that came up was parking spots. Massachusetts has less stringent rules than the ADA does, but these are, there are ways that either the commission or the Commission on Disability or the ADA can advocate for those. So, it was I was in that meeting for, it was an hour and a half, and I was like, I found my people. So, it's very cool.
Meg, like, about how many people were in attendance? Is it a big group?
He started the meeting when there was 10 and more people came on. A lot of the people that are there are from larger cities, but there are people that are from smaller. And one of the things that they were talking about focusing on was the municipalities, because they have less resources. And one of the things that came up at the legislative breakfast that I was at, was that a lot of people had a lot of local issues. And when I spoke with Julian Sear, during that meeting and after, he volunteered me to be in charge of the ADA issues across the Cape. But I told him that if we have strong ADA coordinators that can do that, that you don't need that. And so I positioned to them how they could, and this is not anything new. This is an old thing, but about having legislation around not only having the Massachusetts Architectural Access Board align with the ADA, but having Title II and what the ADA coordinator does align with the ADA, and have that be something that can be held accountable for in Massachusetts. Because right now it would be handled by the Department of Justice. And so there was a lot of conversation around how we can have ADA issues handled more locally, and how we can support the municipalities and the ADA coordinators to be empowered and funded, for that matter, to be able to address these issues. And that's just been a thing that I've wanted to do for a long time. So I'm really glad that I was led to this meeting.
That's great. Joe, what's next on the agenda?
Next up, we have a topic for equity leaders, 4Cs.
Okay, so I'm just reporting back on that. I'm going to be doing a presentation on the 12th. Our group is getting together. Last time we voted for me to be the representatives from the Sandwich Commission on Disability. My presentation will be around the ADA coordinator law. It's still in the beginning, but it will give me a chance to practice to present that. So if anybody is around and wants to come to the community college to hear my presentation, everyone is invited. That's all.
Meg, when will that presentation be?
I gotta look up, it's the 12th. It's Friday, December 12th.
Okay.
There's a couple people in my group from the vineyard, so I'm going to pick them up at the boat.
Okay.
But I'm happy to drive, and I have to go through Sandwich, or I can go through Sandwich to get to back to the college. So I'm happy to pick anybody up that wants a ride, and then drop you off when I drop them back off at the boat. But I think it's like at, what do I have on here? I think it starts at 10.
Okay.
But I'll get the details. It's in my email somewhere. I just don't have it in front of me. I'm happy to send it out. I'll invite you all.
Thank you.
Hmm.
And what's next, Joe? We're rolling right along, it seems.
Up next, we have Apple Verizon Accessibility Day.
That's me too.
You again.
I've been busy. Someone asked me if I was retired because I've been doing all of these things, and my answer was no.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's impressive.
I went up to Boston, and they had Verizon had an accessibility day with Apple, and they presented all the accessibility there. They were reaching out. Part of that was for them to reach out and let governmental people that those devices are available. So we have a digital equity plan, and I was hoping that since Leanne's going to be coming to talk about the strategic plan, she could also come and update us on the digital equity plan. But it was a really cool day in Boston. We got to see all their different technology, and I learned some things that since I've been out of that circle a little bit, but it was nice. And thank you, Lisa, for pointing me in that direction.
Sure, it sounded right up your alley.
It was.
That's great. Joe, what's next?
Meeting minutes, just a quick update on that. I was out for a couple meetings, so I need to go back and finish taking notes, and please plan a little bit. I'll try to get it out by the middle of the month, but plan for next meeting to be able to have a little bit of time, if you can, to review at least a couple of the minutes, the older two, so we can make sure we get them approved and over to the town in a timely fashion. Just kind of a general note on that, I think.
Thank you. No, I appreciate everything you do regarding the minutes and the agenda and all this. I just thank you.
Yes, thank you, Joe. You're a great secretary.
Yeah. And what's next, Joe?
That is the end of it, although I believe there was, I don't know if it was on the last meeting or not, but I think we had a discussion about social media and getting back into that for an update.
Did you want to do that, Julia?
Yeah, so from what I remember, we were just gonna like select a few dates and then send them ahead of time, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
And
so last time we voted on a particular event, and I went and grabbed some of the forms from the town website and grabbed some graphics and whatnot and sent it to them. I don't know what people saw on that. I saw it on the town website. I thought they did a pretty good job of putting over what I thought. Did everyone else see it?
I did. I saw it. Did we do one last month? I don't think we did. I don't think
I
that.
wasn't around, so I didn't.
I didn't, so I don't think we did.
Okay, so why don't we vote on something for January? I'm pulling up that resource list right now.
What do you
And I
guys
would
think
say
about
vote
like, oh, sorry, go ahead, Joe.
Go ahead, Kelly.
What do you guys think about like is our platform the appropriate way to maybe talk about like, hey, if you needed help with, plowing, to contact the town, or do you think that we shouldn't get into like that type of messaging?
Well, I think that we can, when JJ and Paul send out that information, they can put our Commission on Disability on it. They can do it in collaboration with us.
Yeah.
That I think that would be a good suggestion to say is, reach out to us and join our meetings, right? We could totally ask for that. I think that's separate from the other one, but I do think that's a great idea. And I think that we don't need to necessarily a vote on that. I think that they would collaborate with us because they asked us to. So when on their messaging, they can do that. Oh, we can make sure we just tell them or ask them. All right, I'm trying to look this up.
Okay, so one thing that I found was that January 4th is World Braille Day. So I think that would be a good one. It doesn't look like there's in January outside of that.
Yeah, let's do it. I second that motion. Is it go ahead, Kelly.
Hold
Do
on.
you want to do
Do
roll
we want
call?
to do roll call?
Yeah, I could do that, but we just want to clarify exactly what is being motioned so that we all vote correctly. If I understood it, vote to submit to the town a social media post for January 4th World Braille Day. Does that sound correct?
Yes.
I'll second it.
Let
Thank you
me
for clarifying.
grab my list and we'll do a roll call vote. One moment.
Who is going to send that over?
I can do it.
Is there any way to attach an image with the alphabet on it or something? Like the Braille alphabet.
Yes.
It's just, I thought that might be.
Yeah, they usually
Julia,
put
do
it
you
on.
have
Yeah.
do you have the PDF form that the town uses for social media?
No, I'd just been emailing, I think her name was Samantha, to post stuff, but I don't know about the form. But where,
I can send you the forms if you want to use them. I used them in the last one I did, and it was easy to kind of keep myself organized. Whether it's useful for you or not, you can figure it out, but I can send that to you.
yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
All right, so roll call vote on the January 4th Braille Day recommendation to the town. Meg Keegan,
Yes.
John Jellison,
Yes.
Joanne Lebhers,
Yes.
and Lisa joined about 5 o'clock if I didn't mention that before. So Lisa Jidelson,
Yes.
and Joseph Sonia, myself, yes. Julia Wright,
Yes.
Shana DeSanti, I didn't see her come in. I don't hear her.
She's
Kelly
not.
Trapasso,
Yes.
Ian Cullen,
Yes.
Stephanie, hold on, let me read it. Latonin,
Yes.
we get 2 yeses on that.
2 yeses.
Excellent, thank you. John Royer,
Yes.
all right, that's unanimous. And as I said, I'll follow up, Julia, with you for those forms if they're helpful, and we can work on that. Did we want to do anything for December? I don't think it's too late because they were pretty quick when I asked them last time.
Good idea.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to look at the calendar.
I'm trying to see if I can find it. Oh, no.
A quick Google search.
Oh, month, week, day. Here we go. December.
Oh, it's Disability Awareness Month in some areas.
Like which areas? Why wouldn't it's not nationwide?
Google AI search real quick. And see how I look it up.
December 3rd is International Day of Persons with Disability. That would be
That's
today.
very
Today.
appropriate for us
Happy
to have that
International
today.
Day of Persons with Disability, everyone. They have Human Rights Day is December 10th. Crohn's and colitis awareness is the week of the 1st through the 7th. We can let me see. Resources. There. Did you see anything else, Joe?
Not really, but I
Me
think a general kind of post of I would move to have a disability awareness post submitted to the town for December because I feel like that's a good time of year to bring awareness when people are
Sure.
back at home.
Yeah, and I think didn't we give them? I think our original post that we did could be used for that. They were which is the symbol that's on the Zoom meeting.
Mhm.
They could use it. They don't like to do the flags because that's a policy. But
I didn't know that.
yeah, no flags, only the American flag. Right, Shane? I think that's right.
I'm sorry, I'm transitioning to the car.
That's okay. There's
I'm
a no flag policy, correct?
correct. We did that, correct.
Yep. I told them they can just make it not look like a flag and not fly it like a flag and use just the symbolism. But do we want to vote to have them
We need a second.
Yeah. Second. Did I say it? Somebody.
I said it, so I was waiting
Okay.
for somebody to second it. Thank you. So we'll do a roll call vote on a general disability awareness post for the month of December to the town. Meg Keegan,
Yes.
Tom Jellison,
Yes.
Joanne Lebhers,
Yes.
Lisa Judelson,
Yes.
Joseph Sonia, that's myself, yes. Julia Wright,
Yes.
Shana DeSanti, still absent. Kelly Trapasso,
Yes.
Ian Cullen,
Yes.
Stephanie Latonin,
Yes.
and Don Royer.
Yes.
That passes unanimously.
Joe,
Julia, so you don't get overloaded, do you want me to do that one and you can do the January one?
Yeah, that sounds good. Thanks.
thanks. Thank you, both of you. Do you want to add to the agenda every month, like part of our agenda template to have this vote?
Yes, I think that's a great idea.
And I wonder if we want to do like 3 months or something. You know?
So we can always add things if we see them. An area we don't use a lot in our meetings is other matters not reasonably anticipated by the chairman. If somebody notices something, could absolutely
Yep.
bring that to add an additional post because it's not a ton of work to get that stuff out.
All right, cool. And then is everybody cool with next month having Leanne come and talk about the strategic plan and the accessibility, the digital equity plan?
Yes.
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 Great.
And is that everything, Joe?
I think so.
That is everything.
I do have a question for Meg.
Yes.
The addresses that we got from the sandwich festival
Yes.
of people that were interested in the Commission on Disability, do you need help looking at those to transcribe the email addresses? I don't think that's something I can help you with.
Yes,
I'm
thank
sorry.
you for reminding me. Joe, can I send you the Joanne took a picture of the list and sent it to me. I can't discern the different letters because it's handwritten. Do you want to try to do that? And then I think
Try.
yeah, and I think too, like, you know, when they're talking about sending out the stuff like the 311 app, like, you know, look into that and stuff, but the communications, like, you know, I know some people don't use social media, you know, and there's different, I wonder what are all the ways. And then if people want to know more about us, what is the way for them? Like, we're not, how are we collecting emails? Like, cause what, there were like, what, 15 emails or something? There was like a page and a few, it was really, I was shocked
Right.
of how many people wanted to know about us. And the person that brought up the accessible parking at the legislative breakfast was from Sandwich and wanted to join.
Wow.
So I think there are people out there that want to participate. And so I think part of our strategic plan can be more increasing membership or at least increasing interest.
Would that make sense to, rather than just do, we already voted on it, but rather than just do a general post about disability, wouldn't we want to post something like that?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna ask the fire chief because he's like putting out he's gonna put out that stuff about you know, signing up. Like they're putting out all this stuff. I'm just gonna ask them to add our information to that. But I do think you're right. I think we can always amend the motion or retake the vote, but that's a good idea to let people know. I think one of the things I want to know first, you know, one of the things I was thinking is, what is the best way? Like, do you have to go, like, what is the best way to get information? Because the town has given me a little bit of a hard time about collecting information and sending it directly to people. I don't know why that is. I have not, but, you know, and also the newspaper, Sierra, you know, letting people know at the end of an article that you write to be able to join that.
Yeah,
So-
that'd be great because a lot of people said they did see us in the paper. You know, that was like really the only way they had seen any, you know, mention of us before.
Yeah, we can, I don't know if the town pays for ads, but we could ask them to put an ad in the paper.
Well, not just an ad, I think just a community, like just an article about what we're doing. And when we meet and to say that people that are interested are able to join, but along with what Don's saying, when we send out the posts of different days, can there be something at the bottom that says it's from the Commission on Disability? And if you're interested,
Yes.
call or we meet on and have our next meeting date or something.
Yeah, can you,
Yeah, I don't-
when you
I don't
both
think
fill
that
that
even needs
form
to
out,
be, yeah,
right? That doesn't
I
need
don't
to
think that
be,
needs to be voted on or anything. It's just part of
yeah.
affecting that vote is making sure that we get what we want on there.
Yeah, because they ask you what you want to write on the post, I'm sure, right? It's not just the
Correct.
picture. Yeah, so I think just maybe I don't know who you submit that to. Maybe someone can just reach out and say, "Hey, what is the best way?" Because that notify me is not the easiest to sign up for, and but
So
you know,
Meg, talking about notify me, you mean on the town website, right?
yeah, yeah,
Right. So you and I have talked about it. I mean, so a lot of people don't get the paper anymore. I get the paper. Right? You have an older population that will read the paper.
Yeah.
So you and I talked about, like we can't obviously do a Facebook, but those social platforms that maybe the 50 or 60 and the younger are on Facebook or whatever. But I mean, I think you and I talked about that. The town said that we could not do something like that. So in order to,
we don't have. They just don't have our own. They're going to promote us through their page.
Yep.
So they do that. They just don't want us to do it from a Commission on Disability page. So they want us to fill out that form. So we still can promote ourselves. So when Joe and Julia submit their thing, they can write and you can put in the accessibility, you can put in our email, right? Email us at, that's totally fine way to if you have any questions, just email us. Because the three, me and Joe and Kelly all get that email, so we can reply. But
So-
I think that would be do you think that would be the best way is through email? Like
Yeah.
when we put it in the post, is say here, accessibility@sandwichmass.org is the best way to contact us.
yes.
Yeah,
Alright.
probably, we don't have a
And-
phone number or anything, so that probably would be.
Yeah, and
the-
then once we have that, I'll send, Joe, is it okay if I send you that list?
Sure. And I'm just going to bring up a share real quick and I'll describe what I'm bringing up so people can see this form. But this is what this is what I found on the town once Zoom lets me, stops with the spinning wheel of doom. Don't quite understand what it's doing. One moment. I just want to share my screen. Okay. Hold on one second. Here we go. Can everyone see this? Can some
Yes.
people see this form? Okay,
Yes.
so what I have up on the screen is a social media and website post form that has a variety of fields for us to fill in. What I found useful is I was able to give them good, guidance with what I sent without having to craft the entire thing in their system. So it outlines what department is it coming from. I put Commission on Disability. Where do we want it posted to? They give a variety of checkboxes: website, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, or other. And then we're also allowed to give them a range of post start date and end date. And then if the content has photos or documents, lets us know to attach it via an email, and then gives us multiple areas to write the subject title, links and URLs that they're going to include, captions and text, and any extra info or special instructions. I just kind of wrote what I wanted to be out there, and I think they did a pretty good job with what I gave them on when I sent it in. And obviously they changed it a little bit because I had some flags in there, and I didn't know about the flag policy, and they tweaked it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's
So I
great.
think this was a pretty good form, and if we just get a good discussion going and the vote for us to post something, we can always tweak what's in there with ourselves and inside this group. I think we don't need to vote on every single word that comes out.
Yeah. No, the post you did, Joe, was fine. It was the one before that. But they posted it anyway. Because it's a disability flag considered.
Oh, so I snuck my flag snuck by.
Yeah, it did.
All right.
I think this goes along with, Joanne organizing the Sandwich Festival table and just getting, if we have something in the paper, just everywhere around town, just kind of if people start to hear the Commission on Disability a little bit more, and then we've got a link to our email if people have questions, would we want to say, come to our next meeting? I mean, are we taking public comment? If someone came,
I would say, if it were me, I would say, you know, we meet the first Wednesday of every month.
Yep.
You can find, go to our landing page, right? Here's our email. And if you would like to, if you have a topic or issue, please email the chairperson ahead of time.
Yeah, good.
So that we can just put them on the agenda. So you can and you can say that, please email our general email and we'll see if we can get you on the agenda. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I
think it's a
just
great
think
way to
that
do it.
increases our visibility and people will start to just realize that we're here.
Yeah, and I think what I'm gonna ask JJ is, can you put our, it's still the town logo, but our name on anything that's disability related, right? If they're saying, hey, report if you have a disability, just do it in the post will be in collaboration with the Commission on Disability. So it'll say from the fire department and the Commission on Disability. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're trying to do the same thing, Meg, at the police department, right?
Yes. We'll see what happens with the upcoming meeting.
Can I just, I know I'm being a nerd, I just want to clarify, Joe. So I see the form, that's great. And Meg, you and I talked about, so I guess the younger generation, whatever, a lot of the sandwich people, we have 2 Facebook pages that people pop on. Everybody's on it, and then the younger population too, the moms and dads, that's my background in the pediatric field. Obviously, we can't post on there, but can we refer what we're doing to the?
You can share it. So when you see the town post on social media, you can share it anywhere.
And
It's
that's
a public post. Yeah, it's a public post.
okay.
Anybody can share it anywhere. That's
Okay.
the whole thing about that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Is that everything?
I think so.
Everything on the agenda and a little bit more.
Great.
Oh, I got something. I received unofficial word from official sources that the new clinic, new VA clinic, will have groundbreaking ceremony in the next few weeks. This is something that I've been writing letters about and attending meetings and that for the last 5 years. And hopefully we'll get the official word when
Cool. Where is it?
It's going to be over by the Veterans Memorial.
Yep.
On that side. I think that there's also there's plans on having low cost housing being built there also. So it's kind of, they're wanting to get it, close in to where veterans with low cost housing will be able to have access to the clinic instead of having to travel halfway across the state to get their medical care.
And that's in Sandwich?
That would be actually be born.
Okay.
Do you know it's in Bourne?
Yeah, the Veterans Memorial Cemetery is what I'm talking about.
Talking about, yeah.
Talking about Otis?
Yeah, on the other side of Otis.
Okay.
Cool. Great.
Great. Yeah.
Thanks so much for advocating for that, Dom. That's awesome. Let us know when they groundbreak. If you need any support, let us know too.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. Okay.
I would just encourage everyone to come to that Commission on Disability Alliance meeting. It is pretty great.
I sent you a text.
Yes.
We'll be
there.
All right. Should we motion to, do we motion to close the meeting or we just close it?
We can. We just don't need a vote.
Okay, a motion to close tonight's meeting.
Second
Second.
motion.
All right, thanks, everybody. I appreciate your
Thank you.
help. I can't believe I messed up the pledge.
Sometimes I go to do it. I'm like,
I was
I take a
where
deep
am I
breath because I'm
thinking?
like, I know it happens. I've done it
It does.
before.
You did a great job, Kelly. Thank you.
You
I
did,
appreciate everyone's help.
Kelly.
Thanks, Joe,
Thank you
too.
so much.
Night.
Oh, does anybody want to chair next month? I know
Mm-hmm.
Julia was interested in it, so I might reach out to her because she's not here anymore. But if anybody else wants to, let me know. I want people to be able to practice.
It's a really great idea for everybody to just get the perspective from the other side. And nobody cares if there's a mess up. It's not a big deal.
Yep, nobody cares.
Yes.
Yeah, reach out to us if you want to. I know Julia did at one point, so I'll ask her too.
Great.
All right, have a good night, everyone.
Thanks,
Night.
everyone.
All right,
Bye.
I'll stop
Bye.
the recording and end the meeting. Have a good evening.